This video is going to show how to do 1-point perspective drawing. You can choose to have your paper either this way or this way. I will have it this way because I think it's a little bit better for you all to see. Right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to put on my paper is the horizon line. First thing you'll need is a ruler. If you don't have a ruler, even just a piece of paper or cardboard or something that's got a straight edge will do. Now I'm going to put my horizon line right at the center of my paper. We'll talk about why changing this up using the rule of thirds is important, but for the time being, let's just put it directly in the center. This is where our eye level is, and again, that horizon line is where the sky and the ground meet. So here we've got that horizon line or eye level line. Next, we're going to put the vanishing point. Now that's going to dictate where everything goes. I'm going to put my vanishing point right here in the middle of my horizon line, but you can put it anywhere on the horizon line. And there's our vanishing point. And remember, the vanishing point is where the perspective disappears, where you can no longer see those lines moving into perspective because the sky and the ground meet. And then lastly, we're going to do our vanishing lines. So I'm going to start off with some pretty basic vanishing lines using just a single letter. And then I'm going to show you how you can do that by changing up a shape. So I'm just going to do the letter H to say hello to you all. And I'm going to make it a little bit more bold. All right, so each one of these lines has an edge or a point on it. And so what you want to do, you can either do your name or do a letter, or you can do it the other way that I'm going to show you, your choice. You're going to take each point and meet that with your ruler to that vanishing point. I'm going to use my pink again to show my vanishing lines. And I'm going to meet each of those edges together to that vanishing point in the bottom. I'm going to do the same. And the other one, the same. Now, right now it's kind of hard to see that this looks like it's in perspective because this is such a flat image. What I would suggest you do instead is to create more like a block letter. So I'm going to put the letter H here and show you the difference. And I'm going to again use my pink lines to make my vanishing points. And each one of these points is going to be connected to that vanishing point. So I'm going to line this up to my green dot, this point here to my green dot, this point here, and this point here. You see how that gives a little bit more of that perspective? You don't want to forget to do that on the bottom as well. So I'm going to meet this one here to that green dot and draw that in perspective. Now, one thing you can also do is you see these lines here. What we can do is follow these lines along our vanishing points to give the illusion of perspective or depth. So I'm going to create lines that are parallel. Now, two lines that run side by side, like this or this, like an equal sign, are what we call parallel lines. Or twin lines. There are these two lines that are identical to each other that run next to each other, but they are not going to cross. You want to make parallel lines next to your lines to give that illusion of depth. And do you see how by creating this line here and this line here, and then I can connect it to my drawing, gives that the illusion. I can even start to shade it in. And that gives the idea of depth or space. So that's one way you can go about doing it. Another way is to think about a shape. I'm going to show you like a rectangle. I'm using the black to be my drawing. And really I should be using my ruler to create perfectly parallel lines. So I'm going to draw a parallel line to this one just by moving it down. You see? You can even just go from one side to the other side because these two sides of the ruler are parallel. Now I know that this is 2 inches, this is 2 inches. I want to then run this one here and this one across. So all of these should be coming 90-degree angles because they're two parallel lines that are crossed. Now that's a little bit of math here. Now what I want to do is I want to take each one of these points and I want to meet those to that vanishing point, just like I did with that letter H. I'm going to go to the edge, meet it to that green dot, go to my second one on the bottom. Now you'll see I'd be drawing a line through that, right? I don't want to draw a line through this rectangle because then it's not going to have that appearance of perspective. So I'm going to pretend to draw it and then start that line as soon as it's on the outside. Go to my next one down here, line that up to my vanishing point. And my last one, see how there are those 4 dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's 4 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I can take these lines and using my ruler create parallel lines using my vanishing points as a guide. See how this line and this line are parallel? I'm going to do the same thing here. That I'll slide over to make a parallel line. And now what about like the back to give the illusion of three-dimensionality? I can take this line again, slide it over to where this one is, and draw that out. And then if I go through, whoops, got a little bit off there, and outline it, that gives that illusion of perspective. So you might want to try writing your name, you might want to try a shape, you can try multiple shapes. You can also try it from above and go the opposite direction, but I wanted to give you it from this perspective since that's what we were looking through mostly in those examples. If you have any questions, I know that this is kind of a lot, please feel free to ask me and I'm here to help you all. Again, you don't have to do that for this assignment number 3, but you will need to use this knowledge for your next assignment. Okay?